All right, we're live. Hello, everybody. I am Seaboard System Zephyr. Uh, this is my very first live stream that I've done on this channel, let alone the very first live stream I've done for any train themed channel I've ever had. Because a lot of you probably used to know me as NS Railfan 2022. That channel got terminated. Somebody was reporting me for trespassing on CSX and Norfolk Southern property, which is not true, but YouTube still terminated the account anyway. So this is my new account, and today we're going to be going over and reviewing all of the train-related items that I currently own. All right. Well, I guess we'll start off with the thing that carries most of this junk, anyways. It's it's just a little traditional satchel bag, but it's yellow and it has a railroad crossing sign on it. I was rail fanning at 305 Plaza in Willoughby, Ohio, or no, Willowick, Ohio, and high railer, railroad company truck with train wheels, pulls up on like the gravel. I said, "Am I in trouble?" He said, "No." So I said, "He's like, hey, you want something to put all your gear in?" I said, "Yeah," and he hands me this. It's really cool. I was very excited to get this because it does hold a lot of my rail fanning gear. But yeah, it's just nothing on the back though. It's just the front has like a crossbuck railroad crossing sign. All right. Next item I have is, I mean, it's not really permanently related to trains, but it's often related to trains. It's like a ticket puncher. It's a ticket puncher. Like conductors used to carry these to punch tickets for passenger trains. Some scenic railways still use these for tickets. Not many though. All right. And then, all right. All right. Next, I have pocket watch. Except it's got Union Pacific 119 on the front. And then you clip this into the inside of like a belt loop on any jeans or cargo pants, and you put the watch in your pocket, and whenever you want to check the time, you take it out of your pocket, you face it towards you, and then press the little button on the top, and it goes bling, pops open. Right. A lot of this stuff I got for Christmas, which is why I'm not explaining the origin of a lot of this, but it's still pretty cool. Next item I have is, hey Jackson, is it's a clock like for your desktop. Believe this is a 240. Yeah. I don't know if this was like a real wheel configuration locomotive. It might have been, and if it was probably used for like switching maneuvers. I know like a lot of theme parks for their railroads, a lot of them have this wheel configuration, but I'm not sure if it was like something used in everyday regular service for hauling freight trains. As you can see, there's a little clock where the cab is, and then if you turn it around, you find like little knobs you can adjust the hands on the clock, and put the batteries in here as well. I don't know if you can see it, but I believe that's either a Southern Railway engine or a Louisville and Nashville locomotive. All right. Um, Next, we have a coffee mug. Basic, but it still has something to do with trains, so I figured I'd put it in here. It says, taking you to the train station. It has a picture of a generic 10-wheeler, 460 train on it. Yeah. If you go to the back, it says Dutton Ranch. It just says where it was made, the company that made it. Right. All right, next we have a series of signs. This first one is like a wall poster variant of the traditional railroad crossing sign. Usually this would be like cut out as an actual X, and then they would have a metal plate that had the number 2 on it, and it had a plate that said tracks on it, indicating how many sets of train tracks there were at that crossing. And then it just said, this one's also called a crossbuck, but that they're not called that anymore because crossbuck, the definition was like on a sign indicating a railroad crossing on a simple stick of wood. Like there was just no flashing lights or warning gates. It was just a X that said railroad crossing, and it was mounted onto a wooden post. So that's where the definition meaning of crossbuck comes from. Alright, I think it's only appropriate that we show this one next. Speaking of that number plate, metal plate I showed you on that, I have one right here. It's a little worn out, but as you can see, this has the number 2 on it. It's a little metal plate. This would usually go right under the crossbuck sign. This number is what would indicate how many sets of train tracks there were at the crossing. I found this one in a train yard in Willoughby, Ohio. It's abandoned. They don't park trains there anymore. It's become a rail fanning attraction, so perfectly legal to be rail fanning there. Found this in like a pile of old railroad ties and whatnot, so I picked it up and I brought it home. Alright. Oh my goodness, I have a lot of train stuff. Alright. Next, as you might tell, this is a crossbuck X sign. It says railroad crossing on it. How that would work is they'd have one of these, and then they would like mount it to a wooden post with no flashing lights or warning gates or bells. Just this mounted onto a wooden post placed near the train tracks, where there would be pavement put over the train bedded into the train tracks so cars could pass over. This one you can mount to the wall because if you turn it around, it has these little brackets where you can hook it onto a nail so it would stay in place. The metal one I showed you earlier doesn't have those. You have to have like sticky goo to put on the walls to push the sign onto the goo so it sticks to the wall. Next one, we have another metal sign or aluminum. It says train parking only. Violators will be derailed. I find this one very funny because it's not practical at all. It's just a funny gimmick. I very much enjoy having this one. I actually do plan on putting it on my door eventually. But, yeah. Yeah. Same thing. You can't, you have to have sticky tacky or whatever it's called, goo on the back to put it on the wall so it sticks. Right. Let me turn the TV off. It's kind of distracting a bit. There. Alright, next one is a wooden sign. My aunt bought this for me. She got it at Savers, but it's just a traditional Japanese 462 Pacific tank engine locomotive pulling like a passenger train in the sunset somewhere in Japan. Uh, it's like a photo. It's a picture that was like embedded into like a wooden plaque that was like then smoothed over with polish and liquid resin so it wouldn't fall out. This part's very smooth. You turn it around, it's not smooth at all. Again, this does have a bracket, so you can mount it to a nail in the wall if you want to have it on your wall. And then there's a Savers sticker right there. This next one is a picture of me in a train yard. Like I said, it has become a rail fan attraction. Trains are that's no longer used for that, but trains do pass through on the main line next to a couple of abandoned train tracks. But here's me standing on the abandoned tracks, watching a train go by. Yeah. All right. This next one is a bit odd, but it's very special to me. It's it's a ticket to the very first train I rode on in my entire life. It's called the RTA, Rapid Transit Association. It runs for Cleveland, Ohio. Uh, this is what the front looks like. And then it has the side. You can kind of make out what the prints say because they're not completely faded away, but they're getting there. Okay, the next one. I'm gonna cover part of it up because I don't want to leak my address. But it's a custom business card I had made uh, for me and the engine crew of Nickel Plate Road 284, number 765. If you look on the picture, it's me standing next to head engineer Rich Melvin, and then uh, the fireman who goes by Smithy, or Skippy, goes by Skippy. But yeah. And if you flip it around, it has a picture of the Nickel Plate Road 765 sitting idle at Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad's Fitzwater Train Yard maintenance facility for the annual Steam in the Valley event. All right, this next one's actually rather cool. Believe it or not, it's there's like a rail. There's like a rail that the train wheels run on. There's two rails are mounted onto like what they wooden like beam, which are referred to as railroad ties. Well, I have a slice, literally a slice of rail from a railroad track. This thing is extremely heavy. And how it works is you see how there's curved right here? The train wheels are like the shape of a cone. So the cone, there's usually longer. The cone will run along here, which allows it to navigate through curves. Because if a train had regular wheels, it went through a curve, the wheels would just pop off the track and the train would derail. With cone-shaped wheels, it allows the wheels to like bend and navigate with the curves. This thing is very rusty. I don't know how old this is. I found this at the train tracks that are closest to me, which date back as early as the New York Central steam era in the 1930s. But yeah, this thing is monsterly heavy. All right. Next, similar, is um. Uh, oh, all right. I'm sorry. That's my bad. Yeah, yeah. Hold on. Okay, I posted the link to join me on stream on your latest short on your YouTube channel. In the meantime, next up we have like an actual railroad spike. These would be pounded into what are called base plates, which basically allow the rails to connect to the wooden ties below. These are pounded into these little slots on a base plate. They're pounded in and like pounded into the wooden ties. That way it connects the rail to the tie. And every once in a while they are removed and replaced, which is where this comes from. If you see one of these loose on active train tracks, please do not pull it out. That is extremely dangerous and is illegal. It could very easily derail a train. But yeah, this is a pretty old one. I found this alongside the tracks near a whole pile of them, practically. Very rusty, rotting away basically, but I still think it's pretty cool to have. All right, next we have two items that go together. The first one is a 440 American windback train engine. Why isn't it working? Did it not wind back anymore? I guess it doesn't wind back anymore. It used to. It's just like a standard traditional generic 440 American type steam locomotive. 440 refers to four pilot wheels, four driver wheels, and then zero trailing wheels on the back. It used to make sound if you push this button on top of the steam dome, but it doesn't anymore. Batteries are dead. And then we have a tender that used to connect to it. The little thing broke off, but it's battery operated. This doesn't work anymore either. But you put these two together, and then you connect it, and you have a steam train with the engine and tender. Yeah, very nice. This next one is also special to me because it is very old. Here we go. Here we go. This is another railroad sign, except it used to light up. You would put light bulbs in the little sign, like light sockets here. You would put them in, you'd plug it in using the cord here, and you would, there's a little notch. You have to, that would turn it on and off. And it would go, this one would turn on, this one would stay off, this one would turn off, and then this one would turn on, this one would turn off, and then this one would turn on, repeating, like bling, 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 bling. It used to play sound. It would go ding, 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 ding. It doesn't work anymore. It's falling apart, but I am never getting rid of this because this is very special to me. Right. All right. Here we actually have something pretty cool that does work. It's a radio scanner. Rail fans like myself use this to tune into train channels that you would hear, like how inside of a train locomotive there's a radio that they use to communicate with dispatch. We use this to tune into that station. We hear all the train traffic, we hear all their conversations, and then we can know when a train's on the way, what train it is, and when it will be here. And then it will tell us once the train is passed. And it comes with this antenna. You put the antenna on right here. You see that? You attach the antenna, completes the circuit. And it allows this radio to send signals to a cell phone tower, and it would echo back to the antenna, and that's what gives it signal. Turn it on, you press this button, you hold it. Yeah. And it lights up at first. Now, you would, if you wanted to tune it to like channel, you would like hit scan, and then you would type in the code to the station. I have this programmed to always save to the train channel, and I press the scan button and it automatically goes to the train channel, and we turn it on. We can, there's not really anything going on with it right now, so we're going to go ahead and turn it back off. Yes. Right. This next one isn't technically mine, but it still counts because it's very special. This is an antique lighter fluid lantern, which you would see most commonly inside of the Denver and Rio Grande passenger cars, or on the outside of any heavyweight Pullman passenger car, to act as like a light. It would it would act as like a light when you wanted to travel at night. So how it would work is you see this cork, you take out the cork, you take lighter fluid, you'd pour it in here, it would fill like this whole lower compartment. You put the cork back in, and then you take this, you pull it out. Inside is a little rod of flint, and this is made out, the little pin is made out of steel, so when you pull it back real fast, it rubs against the piece of flint and it makes a spark, and then the spark catches onto the lighter fluid and it makes a flame, and the flame catches onto this little piece of carpet right here, and the flame would like light up the lantern. This is very cool. It's not mine, it was my grandfather's, but I still think it's a very cool toy to have. I mean, item to have. I'm going to very carefully sit this down. All right. Next one is just a pair of safety goggles. I usually use these when I'm rail fanning at trackside and there's like a lot of trains coming through. I wear these to stay safe. I also wear these when I ride behind a steam locomotive from an open vestibule. It helps keep cinders and chunks of soot out of my eyes, so I don't go blind. You fold out the things and you just put it on. This next one was a graduation gift from my teacher because he also liked trains. And I think he said he had this book in his family for 7 generations, I believe. No, 4 generations. And I was very excited to have it. He brought it in for me to look at in class during free time originally, and as I was getting ready to graduate, he ended up giving it to me. It just has like pictures of different locomotives and stories behind their origin, and then it has neat facts about them as well. Both steam and diesel are featured in this book. Here's the back, and then the side. Right. And this next item, like not piece of clothing, is a board game called Ticket to Ride. So we're going to go ahead and open this thing up. Inside we will find a game board made out of cardboard, I think. Yes. On the front, it has a map of railroad tracks. And on the back, it has the game logo on it. All right. And then for the little pieces, they have one for each color. Is a little freight car or passenger car. You get to choose between 2. We have the freight cars. Let me take one out. Here, oh, I'm sorry, this is the passenger car. And then there's the freight car. It does come with extras for each color in case you lose a couple of them. And then for the first set of cards, it has different rail cars on it. I'm not going to open it right now. It has a rail car, looks like a old water tanker on the front, and then on the back it has a 462 Pacific steam locomotive. No number, just picture. And then the second deck of cards gives you, so if you have one train car, you have two train cars, three train cars, it tells you what what points you get for each number of train cars that you collect. And then on the back again, just a generic stereotypical 462 Pacific steam locomotive. And then of course the instructions. This game is about trying to make it across the country from New York City to San Francisco, California. Right. All right. Now we get to the clothes. The clothes. Got a couple. All right. So we have 4 regular t-shirts and then 2 button-down t-shirts and a sweater. Okay, we'll start with the t-shirts. First one is just a black t-shirt, but it has the Nickel Plate Road logo on it, which is the New York, Chicago, and St. Louis Railroad. Get it up here. Here. Right. Turn it around. There's nothing on the back. All right, this next one is it's Nickel Plate Road number 765, a black t-shirt with Nickel Plate Road 765. It has the front of the 765 says Nickel Plate up top on the top ribbon, and then it says on the bottom ribbon high-speed service, referring to the Nickel Plate high-speed service, which was what the Nickel Plate Road was known for, extremely fast traveling of goods between A and B. And that says 1944 to 2025, I think. 2024, I think. Nothing on the back, but still pretty cool. All right. Next one is a navy blue t-shirt, and it has a picture of a Pennsylvania Railroad K4 Pacific traveling in the sun at sunset, and it says "Who tooted?" Because for little kids, if you go toot toot, it's referring to blowing the whistle of a steam train and go toot toot. So it says "Who tooted?" Who tooted? Toot toot. Who tooted? Yeah, it's a play on words. I think it's kind of cheeky or cheesy, but I still like it. Nothing on the back. Still very cool shirt though. All right, and then our last t-shirt. It's a gray t-shirt, and it says "One Track Mind" with a picture of a Baltimore and Ohio 440 American locomotive. It says "One Track Mind." You ever heard of like the saying of you have a one-track mind, meaning you only think about one thing and one thing only? They took that literally and put a train on it and said a one-track mind, like train tracks. Nothing on the back. All right. Now, the first one we have for the button-down shirts, or no, we're going to do the sweater first. This sweater, it's a gray sweater with Nickel Plate Road 284, number 765. And then the Norfolk Southern Nickel Plate Road Heritage Unit, number 8100, side by side. It says Nickel Plate Road on the top, and then it says Nickel Plate Heritage on the bottom. Nothing on the back. All right, first for the 2 button-down shirts is just it's like a traditional, generic, stereotypical steam train engineer shirt. It's a white t-shirt with blue stripes. There's nothing on the front or the back. And this last one, very, very special to me because I had to have special permission for this thing to be made and for me to have it. It is an official Fort Wayne Railroad Historical Society Nickel Plate Road 765 engine crew button-down shirt. On the front, on the right side, where above the pocket says Fort Wayne Railroad Historical Society Inc., which stands for Incorporated. And then on the left sleeve, it says, let me see if I can get it. Nickel Plate Road 765 engine crew. And then on the right sleeve, it has the American flag patch with a gold trim around it. The story behind this one is my grandma actually gave this to me for Christmas. She had to find and reach out to the lady that makes these uniforms for the crew of the 765. And she asked if she was able to make one for me to wear, like to have as a collector's item. She had to go talk to the head of the crew, the head chiefman of 765 crew, which at the time was Rich Melvin. And he said, yeah, it was all right. So the lady made one, and she shipped it out to my grandma, and on Christmas of that year, she gave this to me, and I have cherished it ever since. Well, I think that about does it for my train items collection. Really surprised that Rain Hunter Gabriel guy didn't click on the link I gave him. I thought he was going to come up here and show me a video, but I guess not. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Seaboard Systems Zephyr signing out.